American culture that you need to know. So this is probably going to be very useful for me. Love traveling to America, want to keep going as much as I can, but there's certain behaviors that are different to, how you guys live versus how we live. Like, even though our cultures are really similar, like tipping, for example, that's a big one. I'm still unsure as to like when you need to tip. Is it like anytime you get food, or is it only when you sit down and eat food? So yeah, a video like this is going to be super useful for anyone who, likes going to America or wants to someday.
Hi, I'm Vanessa from SpeakEnglishWithVanessa.com. Do you know these very American things? Let's talk about it.
Let's go.
Do 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 do.
That's the baseball game song, isn't it?
Do you know this song? Most Americans immediately recognize this tune, even though my poor singing. You're immediately able to recognize this song because it is a common feature of American culture. So today I would like to help you learn 10 common things. Some of them are expressions, some of them are activities, some of them are cultural elements that all Americans know, and you should too. Now, of course, the US is an incredibly diverse place with a lot of people who have various backgrounds, so this might not apply to everyone. I can't speak for all people living in the United States, but these are generally known things in the US that it's kind of fun to be able to know as well. So let's get started with the first one. And to help you remember everything that you learned in this very American lesson, you can download the free PDF worksheet that I've made for today's lesson. It includes all of these expressions, cultural elements, and ideas that I've talked about in this lesson. Plus, you'll see Vanessa's challenge question so that you can answer it and use what you've learned. You can download that PDF with the link in the description. All right, let's get started with our first very American thing that almost all Americans know what it is. If I asked you, what are you doing for the 4th?
Right, yeah.
Would you know what I mean?
This is Independence Day for sure, isn't it? I think it's 4th of July, right?
You might look at your calendar and say, November 4th? December 4th? No, when someone asks you, what are you doing for the 4th? They always mean July 4th. And that's because July 4th is the American Independence Day. And we usually just shorten this to the 4th. What are you doing for the 4th? I'm going to the lake for the 4th. I'm not really doing anything for the 4th, but maybe I'll try to find some fireworks. We often shorten Independence Day or July 4th to just
the 4th.
The 4th. And now you know that too. If I said to you...
Is that like a big, is it the biggest day of the year in America? I think it's probably up there, isn't it? Is it, or Thanksgiving? It's probably 4th, isn't it?
Whoa, I just found a Benjamin on the street. I can't believe it.
$1?
Would you think that I found a guy named Benjamin on the street and I just feel so excited? Maybe he's my long lost friend. Nope. If I said I found a Benjamin on the street, that means a $100 bill. And that's because Benjamin Franklin is the guy who's on the $100 bill. So if you say, oh man, I really just need to earn some Benjamins this weekend, I need to pay my rent, I'm falling behind, that means you need to make several $100s. It's just slang for $100.
Right. I think that's where the saying, it's all about the Benjamins came from. All about the $100 bills, all about the money, the moolah.
So I hope for you find a Benjamin on the street someday. That would be amazing. If my husband Dan said, did you eat the last piece of cake? I might say, I plead the 5th. Oh.
Yes, 5th
What
Fifth
is
Amendment.
happening here? Am I telling him that I'm guilty, or am I telling him I'm not guilty? I didn't do it. Well, this expression, I plead the 5th, has to do with the 5th Amendment to the Constitution. And that means that I don't need to tell you because maybe it will hurt me in a court of law later. This is a very legal type of statement, but we often use this in daily conversation to say, yes, but I don't want to tell you. So when my husband asks me, did you eat the last piece of cake? And I say, I plead the fifth, he knows, yes, Vanessa ate it, but she doesn't want to tell me. So you can use this very American expression when you want to tell someone yes, but maybe you feel embarrassed to tell them yes directly. You can just say, I plead the fifth. Great expression.
How many amendments are there? Like, I think there's the Second Amendment, which is to do with the right to bear arms. Is that the Second Amendment? Are there more than 10?
In 2004, I was a senior. Does this mean I was old in 2004? What if I told you also that in 2008, I was also a senior?
Yeah,
If you're an American, you can probably guess that this means I was in high school in 2004 and I was in college in 2008.
I
A
see.
senior means you are in your last year of high school or your last year of college.
I
So in the
see.
US, we often have terms for first, second, third, and fourth year in high school and in college. So if you are in 9th grade, you are a freshman. If you are in 10th grade, you're a sophomore. Notice that the O in the middle of this word is silent, sophomore. If you're in 11th grade, you are a junior. We could say, I'm in my junior year. I'm a junior.
I wonder where those names came from. Like, what's the origin of them? Because we don't use them here, and a lot of the there's definitely some stuff in America that came from the British system. So I wonder where this came from.
And if you're in 12th grade, so the final grade of high school, you're a senior. And this type of system also applies to college. You are a freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior in college, especially when you go to a 4-year college, these type of terms apply. So it's quite common that when you are a senior, you think you are much better than freshmen. Oh, I was never so small. They're so much like just little children, those freshmen. We are seniors.
That mentality is just so universal. Like, everybody thinks, oh, was I that small when I was at that age? Like, when I look at, year sevens, that would be the equivalent of a freshman, I think. Or close. They just look like they get smaller every year.
I think this is pretty common in high school that you see the people who are younger than you as so much younger. I wasn't like that when I was a freshman, but really you were. So this type of system is quite common in the US, and now you know about it too. When you arrive in the US, you will probably need to fill out a visa form, and at the bottom of the visa, you need to sign your John Hancock.
That's your signature, isn't it? This one I had no idea before, because there's no link to like John Hancock and signature, at least in my head.
Is your name John Hancock? Well, if it is, you definitely need to do that. But this term, sign your John Hancock, just means your signature. There's a little bit of American history behind this because John Hancock was a guy who signed his name big and large on the Declaration of Independence. So it was kind of a bold statement where these colonists in the United States or in the Americas told England, we want to have independence. And it's a pretty big statement. Maybe there's some treason involved, so it's kind of scary to say, I'm someone who supports this. But John Hancock signed his name really large on that document. So it was bold and courageous. It was a big move. So because of this, his name is synonymous now with a signature. Sign your John Hancock. Put your John Hancock here. We don't always use this instead of signature, but you will definitely hear this, and it's steeped in American history.
How often would you say you hear this on a daily? Like, would you say you hear it every day? Because whenever I've been to America, I've never heard someone say, would you mind giving me your John Hancock? I've never heard it. Do young people still use this?
And now you can use it too. Now we have two fun American idioms. One is if I said to you, You shouldn't buy a new car. If you buy a used car, you get more bang for your buck.
Yeah, we use that one here as well, like more value.
Expression bang for your buck kind of includes two American concepts. One is buck, which is slang for dollars. And the other one, bang, doesn't necessarily relate to guns, but I know guns are kind of culturally linked to the US. So we get this idea that you can get a great value for your money if you buy a used car. So you might say, yeah, you should get a used car. It's more bang for your buck. Don't get a new car. It's better to get a used car. This is a great expression. More bang for your buck. When I was growing up, before we left for school almost every morning, it was pretty common for my sister and I to fight over who said shotgun first. Why were we trying to beat each other to say shotgun? What's that mean? Does that mean we want to carry a shotgun? Does that mean we were going hunting or shooting? No. Instead, shotgun is the passenger seat. And for some reason, this is the most desirable seat in the car when you're not the driver. So kids, I guess not too young, but high schoolers or older kids always want to call shotgun. And
Like with my family, it would just be a race. Whoever got to the front seat door first gets to sit in it. But these days, I prefer sitting in the back. It's just more chill if I'm ever not driving.
we use that expression, I call shotgun, or just saying shotgun. And that means that's my seat. I claim it. And this is really common, especially with siblings, even with friends too, that before you get in the car, if you're not the driver, you'd say, I call shotgun. Well, maybe now you can call shotgun too. Have you ever eaten the most tasty bonfire treat in the entire world? This is something I look forward to every time we have a bonfire. It is s'mores.
S'mores. Okay, roasted marshmallows. You know what? I've never tried roasted marshmallows before. Never. Just never have. What are they like? Do they get really gooey and then you just eat them like that? Or do you like put them on, it looks like a cracker here?
S'mores. This is something I didn't realize was very American until I was talking to some international friends and they said, what? We just toast marshmallows. What do you put with them? So let me explain to you a delicacy, something amazing that has a special place in my heart. First, you have a graham cracker. This is a special type of cookie, even though it's called cracker. It's quite sweet. And then we have a piece of chocolate. So we often buy some Hershey's chocolate, break off a piece, put it on the graham cracker, and when you're having a bonfire, you set that close to the fire, not too close, but close enough that the chocolate gets a little soft. And then you take a stick and 2 marshmallows. You could do 1, but 2 is better. And you toast them over the fire very carefully to make sure that they don't explode into flames. Some people like that. Personally, I like them to be perfectly toasted.
They actually can explode. I thought they just burn. Like this one here looks like it's starting to burn around the edge.
And it is an art form, let me tell you. So you toast them, and then when they're toasted, you put them on the chocolate and you take another piece of a graham cracker and you slide the marshmallows off, and there you have the perfect s'more. Toasty, warm, melty, gooey, so perfect. So the next time that you're at a bonfire, maybe you can introduce this idea to your friends or...
Oh, there's even some... I need to try one of these. Oh my God. Looks tasty.
If you're at a bonfire in the US, you will definitely see people eating s'mores. Please try it for my sake. I hope you'll love it. All right, now it's time for the song you have been waiting for. It is dun da 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 dun da da da.
Yeah, this goes Take Me Down to the Ball Game, I think.
Da da.
Yeah.
Do you know this song? This
Baseball.
song is
Baseball.
Take Me Out to the Ball Game.
Out to the ball
and I
game.
included this here because there's a funny little story I wanted to share with you. One of my friends, you might follow his YouTube channel. His name's Jack. He has a YouTube channel called To Fluency. And he's from the UK, but he's married to an American. And he told me that one time they were playing a game with some Americans, and the game was that you had to hum a song and your partner had to guess what it was. So his wife drew a card and it said, hum, Take Me Out to the Ball Game. And she's like, all right, this is a good song. It's easy. He'll understand it immediately. So she started to hum. And he just looked at her like, what? I've never heard that in my life.
Honestly, like, I've only heard this because of this channel. Like, prior to, having this channel, I would never. Maybe Simpsons, actually. Actually, there's an episode of The Simpsons where, where Springfield versus Shelbyville. I heard it then. I did hear it then.
So obviously that was not a good moment in their game for them, maybe a little funny. But because of this, I realized, maybe this song isn't quite so well known internationally, but it is a staple of American culture because baseball is extremely common and this song is sung before every baseball game. So if you've ever been to any kind of big baseball game in the US, you've definitely heard this song, and if you memorize the lyrics, you'll be able to sing along and cheer with everyone. It's a great moment to kind of have that group feeling of excitement before a game.
I really want to go to a baseball game. The vibes look so fun. Like, someone described it to me once as like a carnival atmosphere because the games go on for hours, you get settled in, the snacks are usually quite good.
So make sure you check out Take Me Out to the Ball Game. You can search on YouTube and see some clips of crowds of people at baseball games singing this song. Quite fun and very American.
Wow, they sing it quite slow. I love it. Nice. I love that. That kind of thing just gets you into the atmosphere of the game. Like at football games, there's lots of singing. Yeah, I love that stuff.
Our final very American thing today also has to do with baseball. What if I said to you, your speech was awesome. You knocked it out of the park.
Home run, baby. Home run.
Did you give a speech about baseball? Are you playing baseball? No, this just means it was amazing. You did even better than expected. You knocked it out of the park. Here we have the image of someone playing baseball. He's got a baseball bat, someone's pitching him the ball, and he hits it. He doesn't just hit it into the outfield. That's
just out of the park. Woo!
That's where someone can catch it. He hits it beyond the field, out of the park. And this means it's a home run. No one can catch it, and it's great for his team. Everyone can get to home base, and they might get a lot of points. So here, knocking it out of the park is a great thing in baseball and in life. So if you do something really awesome, better than expected, you can use this expression. Oh man, I can't believe it, but I talked to someone in English the other day and I think I knocked it out of the park. I explained myself exactly the way I wanted. I did it and they understood me. Congratulations, you knocked it out of the park. Well, congratulations. Now you are in the loop to all of these American secrets, all of these things.
I really love the Take Me Out to the Ball Game song. Like the vibes, I was getting almost a bit of goosebumps there. Just the way everybody sang it together. It just looked very American, like very American, people having a good time, like even the players were clapping near the end of the song. Made me really want to get to a baseball game, honestly. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.